Hi guys, this is Bob from the Nuneaton and Bedworth Minor Football League, and I'm just going to run through today how to fill out your full-time match report after a game. We've been having a few problems this year, mainly I think to managers using the Matchday app rather than logging into full-time. Now the Matchday app is fine, but some problems arise when you lose a signal or you get confused and you don't fill out all of the sections that need filling out. And the main reason for this video is basically to try and avoid you getting a fine. I'm going to keep it basic and we're going to start from the basics, because basically this video is for new managers as well as for those already using the system. So we'll go into a browser and put in the search bar FA full-time. Click on that, and then you're presented with the home page for the system. Now to find our league, all you do is put in the first three letters of Nuneaton. Make sure you put a capital N though, because if you put a small n, it won't find it for some reason. There we go, Nuneaton and Bedworth Minor Football League. Click on that, and there's our home page for our full-time website. Now to log in, so if you keep this say as a bookmark on your computer, you'll be presented with this screen first of all. So to log into full-time now, just click on the top green box and presented with the sign in. Now when you first start as a manager, or when you first register with the league as a manager, you'll be sent a email inviting you to create a login for the system. Please don't ignore it. Click on the link and create either your username or user email and a password, and then you'll be able to log in every week and complete your match report. Any issues, i.e. you haven't received an invite or you can't log in for whatever reason, please get your secretary to come back to us and we'll sort it out for you. So I've not got a username, I'll just use my email when it comes in and sign in. Okay, this is slightly different from me because obviously I've got all the league stuff on there, but I've set up a game to do. So first of all, if you've used the Matchday app and you want to check that you've completed all the sections correctly, all you need to do is log in, find your game. In this instance it's Grove Farm Lions versus Grove Farm Spartans, and if you see the three green ticks, so a green tick for FA marks, green tick for league marks, and you can see the referees marks in green, then that means you've completed fully the sections, and that's perfectly acceptable for what we need. We're not interested in the 22-23 season about starters, who was benched, who scored goals, etc. But we may well be for the 23-24 season, so I'll go through that a bit later on. Like I say, if you use the Matchday app, you log in to check that you've completed all the sections and you're met with this, the green ticks and the green referee score, then you filled it out correctly. I'm just going to go through what you do for postponement. So if your game is postponed, we just need a note within the FA match report, FA full-time match report, just to explain that it was postponed and the reason for the postponement. So I'm filling out the match report for Grove Farm Spartans. I click on statistics. All I need to do is not fill in anything else at all on this section. I don't need to fill out the player statistics. All I need to do is go to league team marks, come down slightly, and the box here, if game is postponed, put here including reason for postponement. So all I do is say postponed due to waterlogged pitch. And then I'll click on update. Now that's a really important point. Anything you put on here, you have to click on update to save it. If you don't click update, it doesn't get saved, and when we come to look at the match report, you're missing information, and that will lead to a possible fine. So please remember, anything that you put in here, you've got to update it to save it. Okay, we're going to go through the filling out the match report now. So, going back to Grey Farm Spartans, click on statistics again. Okay, so the first thing you met with is the FA marks. If you've been allocated a referee, the referee's name will appear at the top, and you just fill in the marks here. If no referee has been recorded, then whoever has reffed your game, you have to put their name in, their role, and then give them a mark. So enter referee name if not appointed, or is different from appointed referee. So if the ref doesn't turn up and a parent steps in, then again you fill in the name here. So we'll just call him Joe Bloggs. And then the role, registered referee, club official, team official, parent helper, spectator. So say for example, there's a ref on another pitch, he finishes his game, your referee hasn't turned up, so you ask him to ref your game, you stick referee. If there's a parent carer, or helper, sorry, stick that in, okay? And then you go to giving them your marks. So overall decision making, he was fairly good, so 35. Judgments and major decisions, he made a couple of boo-boos, so give him 20. And overall control, he's really good at controlling the kids, so we'll give him 28. No need to calculate the overall mark, because when you go on to the next page, that will automatically add all that up for you. Now, reason for mark of 60 or below, if you mark a referee below 60, you need to give the league a report on why you've marked the referee below 60. You can put a highlight of the reasons in this box, but we really do need an email via your secretary to the referee secretary of the league, giving the full explanation of why you've marked him below 60. We can then look at it and see if we can take remedial action if necessary, or just have a word with the ref or whatever. Okay, but highlight the reasons here, and then a fuller email please via secretaries to the ref secretaries of the league. So we've done that. Come down, respect marks. The players' behaviour was really good. So behaviour was positive and consistent with respect guidelines throughout, so that's the player, so tick that. If there was a bit of argy-bargy with the parents, questioning the ref, perhaps a bit of swearing, arguments between parents, you might say there were occasional incidents of poor behaviour. Now please, don't just tick behaviour was positive if it wasn't. Because myself as the league welfare officer, I'll have a look at these match reports, and if there's a consistent team that is getting marked down for instance of poor behaviour, I may well do a visit and see what their behaviour is like and issue advice if necessary. Okay, but if we don't know about it, we can't do anything about it. Pitch type, that's self-explanatory. Usually it's going to be grass, and it ranges from very poor to excellent, but most of the time it's going to be satisfactory. Once you've filled out that first page, click on update to save. Like I say, if you don't click on update, it won't save it. And there you see now the system has calculated your ref score of 83. So then go on to league team marks. This is where you put your fair play marks for the opposition. Please don't leave this out, because if you do, you're likely to get a fine. Even more serious, you may be doing your opposition out of a chance of winning the most sporting team at the end of the season. So please remember to put your fair play marks. Don't just put 100. Have a think about it and put a true reflection of what you think the opposition were like. Okay? So just going to fill that in. Right, I think they deserve 90 for that one. and update it. We've gone through the game postponements, no need to go through that, and that's that page done. Okay, so if I go back now and click on here, you will now see that without putting the starters in, we now have green tick on the FA marks, green tick on the league marks, and you've done your referee marks. And that's it. That's all we require for the 22-23 season. Next year, however, the 23-24 season, we may well want starters and bench and how many goals and the goal scorers. So I'll just click back on there and go to player statistics. Now, if you do this in real time, if you haven't filled out FA marks correctly, if you haven't filled out league team marks correctly, you won't be able to do player statistics. So if you click on that and it says no, you've missed something out, you need to go back and check. Okay, so click on player stats. If you're doing this on a phone, please make sure you're in the quick stat entry. Team Sheet Wizard will not allow you to put in the goal scorers. Okay, so you must make sure you're in the quick stat entry. So Jake started, he scored 1 goal. I won't do them all. Cody started, no goals. Niall started, scored 3 goals. But you got a yellow card. Okay, and so on and so on. And then down to the bottom, update stats for players. Again, click on update to save. And then once you go down, you'll see a summary of what you've entered. 3 started, 4 goals scored, 1 yellow card. Now the goals scored must match the score that you entered in your results text. Okay, if you put anything different, we look at the results text, we look at this and think there's a problem because they're different, and then we'll have to contact you and ascertain the correct score. So please don't create some more work. Just take 2 seconds of your time to check that the goals actually match the result. Okay, again, update stats. I'll go back now to the second. Go there, and there we go. Started 3, goal scored 4, cards 1. And if just while we're on this, if you ever have to manually input your scores, i.e. for some reason you haven't received the results text, you can do it here. But please be aware the boxes are to the left of the writing. Not interested in half-time scores. So the full-time score was 4-3. Okay. We don't play extra time for any competitions at all, so you can ignore that. And then if you're going to penalties for the League Cup, because every game in the League Cup has a penalty shootout at the end, you put the results of your pens here. So 4-3. This should never ever be a draw, because it's a normal penalty shootout. So it's the best out of 5. If you end up at 5-5, then it goes to sudden death. But we must have a result, i.e. there must be a winner in the penalty shootout. Once you've done that, again, down to the bottom, click update, and that will save your scores and your pens. Okay, but please remember it's to the left hand side of the writing. We've had results come in this year that pens have been shown as extra time, full-time scores has been shown as half-time, and all the rest of it. Okay, everything is there, it's fine, and that's it, job done. Now, it's taken me longer to explain than it is to do. It will take you 5-6 minutes. Alright, it's a really simple system, but you just got to get your head around it, how to complete it. But most of all, remember to click update, and if you're using the Matchday app, please log into full time and just check that you've completed the sections. Alright, we don't want to fine people, but obviously it's down to us to run an effective league, and if we're not getting the results in, if we're not getting the marks in, then unfortunately our last recourse is to issue fines, and we really don't want to do that. Okay, have a good day, guys. Cheers.